Hey everyone! Now, before I delve into this week's video, I just want to have a little chat about some things online and some things that I've heard about. Now, while the vast majority of you are very sensible around railways, there have been reports of a small minority of the enthusiast community that have been able to obtain railway keys called T-keys and have used them to gain access into cabs, with others getting too close to the tracks in order to take photos, and many of these photos and these videos are making the rounds on social media. Now, using T-keys to gain unauthorised access into cabs in the UK is classed as trespassing, with the same fines and prosecution procedures as you would find on the track. Now, if I see this behaviour, online or otherwise, I will not hesitate to contact the local authorities, even if the train is still. Breaking into cabs is dangerous, as the cab is left in a very specific condition. If people start switching switches or pressing buttons, you could leave the cab in an unsafe position, not only putting the train potentially out of service, but jeopardising every passenger's journey, causing delays and a cost to the railway of up to £800 a minute. As far as enthusiast etiquette, there is a lot you can do, and I do recommend the following. So if you're going to a station and you're train spotting, just let the station staff know that you're there. As I say, they just need to know that you're safe and what you're doing. Only approach drivers if they're out of the cabs and are free to talk. They're happy to talk to you. Be respectful. Always ask for photos and never presume. You are not allowed to take photos of any security measures or anything like that in the railway station. However, they will allow you to take photos in general. If you are allowed cab access, then you must not touch anything. Absolutely nothing. If you see someone doing something that you think is not safe, then just report it. It may be nothing, but it's better than doing nothing. If you're in possession of a T-key, please leave that key at home. Unless you're working at the station, heritage or otherwise, there is zero reason to carry it. Network Rail, the rail companies and heritage lines do have the right to confiscate any key that may be misused or carried without authorisation, railway or otherwise. If you do have a key but no longer require it, then I do urge you to turn it in to a railway employee. They'll be happy to take it. Although the hobby is very exciting and a delight to watch, we as a community have a duty to report anyone whose actions put the community at risk. By doing this as a collective, we send a strong message that we will not tolerate any misuse. Now, with that being said and the unpleasantness out of the way, let me take you on a journey halfway across the world, where the day-to-day actions of one market hasn't changed in over a century, and that its activities would send any railway man into a tizzy. And needless to say, please don't try this at home. In the UK, we are taught from an early age to stay off the tracks, and with good reasons. The chances of injury or worse has never been greater. Faster, quieter and heavier trains have a significant impact on stopping distance, and frankly, there is a reason why Network Rail employs specialists. However, there is reasons why going on the tracks is acceptable. Crossings, for example, or track maintenance. However, in Thailand, there lives a thriving market that not only lives by the live tracks, but on it. And amazingly, the railway is only too happy to let them do it. In fact, the railway and the market work harmoniously. Although the railway looks standard gauge, it is in fact almost a foot shy. Sitting at 3 foot 3 inches, this 40-mile railway serves the station of Wanyangwai and Samut Songkhram in Thailand. Long before the railway was even a thing, obtaining fresh fish could only be done in two ways. You either catch it yourself or the market. Now, the market was just like thousands of other markets up and down the coast. It was a place of gathering to barter for goods and wares. Meat was often prepared to order, and seafood was still kicking when it hit the pan. The market became the hub, not just for food, but for social connections. It was a place for people to mingle and share their stories, as well as their wares. With the population increasing, it was natural that the towns and cities grew as well. By 1901, the city had grown so much that pressure for fresh fish grew, in particular on the ports of Banlam and Sanok Songram. They would get the fresh fish required, however taking it to the city was proving problematic. In 1901, the King of Siam gave royal assent for the provision of a railway to curb the problem. The company in charge was the Takin Railway Limited, a private firm led by Danish-born Immanuel Kinch. He was aware of the potential of the line, but needed additional foreign investment in order to pull the plan together. There was an ulterior motive. Thailand was becoming popular with international exports, and in Immanuel's view, if the goods can be transported inland, then they can be equally exported as well. The project would be done in segments, with the first being built in 1904. The Manakashi line was connected to Maeklong Station to Marakashi Province. The line carried 8 stations, and it was not intended at first as a commuter line, but rather as a freight line. Due to the geography of the area, additional expenditure was also used for superior materials, as anything subpar would not last in the wetter conditions. The next stage would follow a year later, however the two lines would never meet. Separated by the Chin River, the next line would start west of the province of Samut Songkhram, and the second stage would be built from the profits from the first. They would stretch to the centre of Bangkok. This line would finally connect the area to the city, the station and its various links. But the Maeklong Railway faced a big problem. The land the railway ran through was home to the Maeklong market. The plans were called for the line to run through it, and with fertile rich farmlands either side, any other route would not be possible. The locals using the market was furious. The market was there first, and there was simply no other place to go. Both market and railway came at an impasse, and neither budged. Not even law enforcement could make the traders move. There was no other option. The railway had to be built. But within days of the first trains, the traders were back. The railway company had to concede defeat, but they couldn't stop the trains, so a speed restriction was introduced to protect customers and traders. The traders in turn would learn the train times and would move their stalls and awnings away, but seconds after the train passes, it was back. In 1904, the two train companies, which had been running independently, would merge with one another, becoming the Maeklong Railway Limited. Although the lines would remain separate, after the Second World War, the government pushed for the railways to be nationalised, and in 1955, the state could take over the running. Despite the line going to electric running, this has not deterred the markets, and state control facilitated more investment with new stations to accommodate urban growth. Because of the additional risks, the railway went to diesel-hauled traction, and this also saved money in running costs and operations. After COVID, the railway found a new source of income: tourism. Social media became awash with photos of the market and how it moved to accommodate the trains. People were amazed at how the traders worked, how their stalls were inches from the train wheels, and how the line disappeared under the traders' feet. Amazingly, accidents are very few and far between. The traders, though, were seeing a worrying trend of visitors not heeding the warnings or moving away, and traders would often have to pull people to safety. This has led to some to become unofficial guards and signallers to let the train know it's safe. This market remains one of the best spectacles, but one of the most dangerous markets in the world. It is encouraged to see it, but please be very careful. Trains will pass mere centimetres away from you, and injuries have happened from people holding out phones just to get a picture. But if you're lucky to go, it's the perfect example of how two factions can coexist symbiotically.